We have more news coming in. Let's take a look at that. And this, remember, is about just a temporary change. Could it return to the smog? And that remains to be seen. Big news coming in. Let's take a look at that. Big impact of India Today's expose on the pollution violators. We are being told Delhi Minister Gopal has now decided to ensure that the entry of trucks is checked, and checked not in the usual manner that the authorities do, because there were law enforcers turning into lawbreakers, but Transport Minister Gehlot inspecting the Gurugram border. So the ministers themselves now heading to the borders. Take a look at this. Through the night, Gopal Minister, you can see him in the car. There is Atishi at another border to check entry of trucks, which means basically that where the trucks are not supposed to be coming in, that is, if that was violated, that is what the ministers themselves have decided to come on the ground. Transport Minister Gehlot, Atishi, all other ministers, Saurabh Bhardwaj, who's one of the main ministers right now in the government. But irrespective of their portfolios, those ministers are on the streets through the night, and they were conducting these checks. Spotlight clearly on the implementation of the pollution rules. And Milan, as you continue to be with us, it's good to see that the ministers themselves of the Delhi government, and I can see Gopal Atishi, Saurabh Bhardwaj, all of the ministers included, and this is not about their portfolios. This is about them representing the Delhi government, and with the pressure building up, and with the India Today's special investigation that was done, that shows that traffic cops allegedly were taking bribe to let diesel trucks, other trucks venture into national capital when they're not supposed to. There were construction activities that were being permitted in areas where those vehicles were not supposed to go. There were stubble burning that we know, whether in parts of Delhi or Punjab or other states as well, specifically in Punjab, where it has been maximum, were still ongoing. And now the mantris setting an example. Of course, remember, this is about a certain pressure that has been built up on the government as well, because whether children, elderly, any resident of Delhi, NCR, have been suffering massively because of the pollution levels. Milan Sharma is now joining me. Milan, it's good to see that the mantris themselves are on the streets ensuring late-night surprise checks, and it does step up with regard to how the law enforcers on the streets will ensure that they do not violate in any way, do not take bribe. But also it begs the question that it has come slightly later than it should have. It should have been already as a precautionary measure. This should have never come to this, because India Today did the investigation to show to the government about what really was happening on the ground.
Well, Pooja, this happens to be the only issue, because when laws are implemented on the ground, they are never really adhered to. And, you know, this kind of expose that India Today has exclusively done is an eye-opener to check how laws are completely flouted at the time when they are implemented, and that is why the citizens, in fact, have to suffer. And in this particular matter, of course, the truck that was being traced was not even an essential good, and this is happening at the border areas of Delhi NCR, which is not a good sign, because this is just one incident, but there are several other incidences that are, you know, witnessed almost every day. And perhaps, you know, this is the expose that has actually helped the Delhi government, the Delhi traffic police, to take action on ground on such violators, you know, because every contribution from every law that has been put in place, every order that has been put in place to curb pollution matters for the citizens of the National Capital Region. And that is why, you know, mantris were on an all-night inspection from various places. And the Delhi government also pulling up its socks at the moment. But fortunately for them, this day happens to be a rainy day, and we're expecting more showers from the meteorological department, but discussions ongoing on what should be the future for you know, mitigation of pollution in the National Capital Region will go on still, because stubble burning, as we say, from Punjab will still continue for the next few days, as about 60% of you know, the harvest has happened in Punjab and 40% is still remaining. So the showers are welcome, but you know, we'll have to wait and see whether on-ground implementation of laws that have been put forward by Supreme Court are being adhered to. Today is also the very crucial Supreme Court hearing on the implementation or the feasibility of odd and even scheme as well, Pooja.
Well, meanwhile, it is the rain gods who've blessed us with at least some temporary respite, while the policymakers continue to bicker, netas continue to bicker on what to do. This has not been a surprise. This has been an annual occurrence. It should have been at least decided and discussed upon, deliberated upon right at the start. What has happened in the past few days in Delhi NCR? This is, remember, not just about pollution or immediate cough and cold. This could actually have caused long-term damage also to people. And now, after India Today report highlighted how GRAP rules were blatantly violated in parts by different officials of different departments, Delhi government fielded their ministers directly to ensure implementation of the anti-pollution measures. As part of the inspection process, several ministers were seen inspecting different parts of Delhi. Remember, the top court termed the odd-even scheme to curb vehicular emission as optics merely. Delhi government has defended the scheme. It has submitted that the policy works as an effective emergency measure, citing independent studies. The Supreme Court will now hear Delhi government on aspects of artificial rain if required, as well as the odd-even scheme they want to implement. Stubble burning, look at this, continues in different parts of Punjab, where it has been maximum reported and is clearly the biggest threat to air pollution in Delhi NCR.
जो ग्रैप 4 के जो नियम हैं उनमें प्रशासनिक अधिकारी जो हैं उन नियमों को बहुत सख्ती से पालन नहीं करा रहे। जैसे ट्रक्स की जो एंट्री है, नॉन एसेंशियल ग्रुप्स अगर गुड्स लेके आ रहे हैं तो उनकी एंट्री बंद होनी चाहिए, बट मैंने और उन्होंने कहा कि कई जगह से एंट्री आज भी हो रही है। जो बसेस हैं, डीजल बसेस हैं, वो बसेस की एंट्री अभी भी दिल्ली के अंदर दूसरे राज्यों से हो रही है। कंस्ट्रक्शन साइट्स है, कंस्ट्रक्शन मटेरियल के ऊपर जो लगाम लगानी है वो आज जो है ग्राउंड पे कम दिख रही है। तो उन्होंने दिल्ली के जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स हैं वो अलग अलग मंत्रियों के नाम पे जो है उनकी जिम्मेदारी लगाई है। ग्रैप के नियमों के लिए उन नोडल ऑफिसर्स का सुपरविजन करेंगे।
जब केंद्र की कैबिनेट तो इस बात में बिजी है कि कैसे मध्य प्रदेश, राजस्थान और छत्तीसगढ़ के लोगों को रिझाना है, और दिल्ली की कैबिनेट इस बात में व्यस्त है कि सरकार जेल से चलानी है कि बाहर से चलानी है, रेफरेंडम करना है कि नहीं करना। तो दिल्ली के लोगों की चिंता कौन कर रहा है? आज तमाम शीला दीक्षित की कैबिनेट के पूर्व मंत्री यहाँ पे इसलिए इकट्ठे हुए हैं हजारों कांग्रेस के कार्यकर्ताओं के साथ कि हम लोगों को और इन दोनों सरकारों को इनकी कुंभकर्णी नींद से उठाएं कि ये वो लोग हैं जिन्होंने दिल्ली बनाई थी। आज दिल्ली में अमेरिका का राजदूत कह रहा है कि दिल्ली सबसे पोल्यूटेड है, और 2003 में इसी अमेरिका ने दिल्ली को मोस्ट क्लीन सिटी का दिया था। वो बनाने वाले ये लोग थे। कि अगर आपको समझ नहीं आ रहा कि दिल्ली के लोगों को कैसे बचाना है तो एटलीस्ट ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग बुला लीजिए, हम आपको कंक्रीट सजेशन देंगे।
बहुत स्ट्रिक्ट मेजर्स सरकार ले रही है, लेकिन क्योंकि ओपन में फील्ड्स हैं, वहां तक एक्सेस जो है कई बार लॉ एनफोर्समेंट एजेंसीज को पहुंचने में टाइम लग जाता है। उतनी देर में कोई आग लगा रहा है, नहीं लगा रहा। पंजाब में दो चीजें की जा रही हैं, एक तो इम्पोजिशन ऑफ फाइन है, एक रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ FIR है जिसकी डायरेक्शन दे दी गई है, और तीसरा है कि जहां लोकल लेवल पे हमारे पास पानी की अवेलेबिलिटी है या मैकेनाइज्ड मोटराइज्ड व्हीकल्स अवेलेबल हैं, उसमें फायर ब्रिगेड डिपार्टमेंट और दूसरे डिपार्टमेंट्स को यूज कर इस फायर को डाउस भी किया जा रहा है। तो ये एफर्ट्स जो हैं सरकार ऑन ग्राउंड कर रही है।